April 30th, 1943, 9:37 a.m. Off the coast of Huelva, Spain, ***. The fishing net comes up heavy. Jose Antonio Rey Maria leans over the gunwale of his sardine boat, squinting against the Atlantic glare. The water here, where the Odio River bleeds into the Gulf of Cadiz, runs cold and murk green. Something pale rolls in the surf 30 meters out. Too large for driftwood, too still for a seal. He signals to his cousin. They pull closer. The smell hits first. Salt, rot, the unmistakable sweetness of decay. It's a man, face down, arms spread, riding the tide like a broken kite. He wears the uniform of a British officer. Khaki battle dress soap black, a Mae West life preserver half inflated and listing. One hand drifts limp in the current. The other is shackled to a leather briefcase by a thin steel chain, the kind couriers use. Official, expensive, secret. Jose crosses himself. They hook the body under the arms and haul it aboard. It lands with a wet slap against the deck. Seawater pours from the man's boots. His skin is fish-belly white, bloated, eyes half open and clouded. There's no blood, no visible wound. Just the stillness of death and the briefcase locked to his wrist like a final, unanswered question. The younger fisherman kneels, reaching for the chain. Don't, Jose says. He knows the rules. Spain is neutral, officially. But Huelva crawls with German agents, Spanish informants, and British. 3 months earlier, January 1943. Room 13, Admiralty Building, London. The body on the morgue slab is nobody. WWII Michael, 34 years old. Homeless. Friendless. Found dead in a King's Cross warehouse 2 weeks ago. Rat poison in the system. Whether accident or despair, no one will ever know. No family came forward. No one claimed him. In life, he was invisible. In death, he will change the course of the war. Lieutenant Commander Ewan Montague stands over the corpse, flanked by Charles Chumley of MI5 and 3 men from the XX Committee, the double-cross unit that turns captured spies and manufacturers alive for Berlin. They've kept Michael's body refrigerated, preserved, waiting. Will he pass? Chumley asks. Montague studies the pale face, the gaunt cheeks. He drowned, officially. A plane crash over the Mediterranean. The Spanish will find what we want them to find. They dress the body with surgical precision. Royal Marines battle dress. Service ribbons carefully chosen. A trench coat. Identity disc stamped with the name William Martin. A common surname. Easy to verify, hard to disprove. In his pockets. Ticket stubs from a London theater dated April 22nd. A receipt for an engagement ring. 2 love letters from a fiancée named Pam, written in breathless cursive on scented paper. Make him real, Montague had insisted. Give him a life. So they did. They gave Major Martin a father, a bank overdraft, a stern letter from Lloyd's regarding his account, a photograph of Pam, actually an MI5 secretary who has no idea her face will be carried into enemy hands. Every detail designed to withstand scrutiny. Every lie built on a foundation of mundane truth. But the briefcase, that's where the real poison lives. Inside, 2 letters, both from Lieutenant General Archibald Nye, Vice Chief of the Imperial General Staff, addressed to General Harold Alexander and Admiral Andrew Cunningham in North Africa. The language is casual, bureaucratic, the kind of inter-staff correspondence that feels too boring to fake. Buried in the pleasantries are references to upcoming operations, not Sicily, Greece, and Sardinia. The Fuhrer believes we'll take the obvious route, Montague murmurs. Sicily is a stepping stone to Italy. It's logical, expected. So we make him expect something else, Chumley replies. They seal the briefcase, chain it to the corpse's wrist. On April 19th, HMS Seraph, a submarine, slips out of Holy Loch, Scotland, running dark. The body rides in a steel canister packed with dry ice, labeled optical instruments. On April 30th, at 4:30 a.m., crew members slide WWII Michael, now and forever Major William Martin, into the black water off Huelva. The tide does the rest. May 9th, 1943. Berchtesgaden, Bavaria. The Berghof, The documents reach Adolf Hitler's mountain retreat in a leather courier pouch marked Geheime Reichsake. Secret state matter. Captain Zur C. Ludwig von Benevegni, head of Abwehr counterintelligence, briefs Oberkommando der Wehrmacht personally. The Spanish photographed everything before returning the briefcase to the British, who, predictably, made a diplomatic fuss about the delay, which only makes it feel more authentic. Hitler studies the letters in silence, jaw working beneath his mustache. General Alfred Jodl, chief of operations, leans over the Führer's shoulder. The tone is consistent with Allied staff correspondence. The names, ranks, and references all verify. And the body? Hitler asks. Drowned. A courier from Allied forces headquarters in Algiers, en route to Cairo. The British held a funeral with full military honors in Huelva. Catholic rites. The Spanish reported no irregularities. No irregularities. That's what sells it. Because Major William Martin wasn't trying to deceive. He was simply unlucky, a staff officer who died in a plane crash, carrying sensitive papers he should have destroyed. The letters aren't propaganda. They're administrative, dull, real, and they point to Greece. Hitler has always believed Greece is the target. It makes strategic sense. Seize the Balkans, cut off Romanian oil, open a route to the Bosporus. His instincts scream it. Now, British intelligence has confirmed it. Strengthen the garrisons. Hitler orders. I want the 1st Panzer Division moved from France to Greece immediately. Reinforce Sardinia and Corsica. Rommel is to assume command of defensive operations in the Greek theater. Field Marshal Wilhelm Keitel nods, scribbling orders. Sicily, the obvious target. The island 90 miles from Tunisia where Axis forces just surrendered, is left with skeleton crew. A garrison. Nothing that could stop a full Allied amphibious assault. The trap is set, but not by the Germans. May 12, 1943. Bletchley Park, England. The intercepted Enigma decrypt comes through at 11:43 p.m. Alan Turing's codebreakers translate the Wehrmacht's new defensive deployments in near real time. Panzer divisions rolling east. Luftwaffe squadrons repositioned to Sardinia. Minefields laid off Kalamata. Montague received the summary by courier the next morning. He reads it twice, handshaking. Asterisk mincemeat swallowed whole. Asterisk. The signal reads. He lights a cigarette and allows himself one long, silent exhale. They believed it. All of it. Operation Husky, the invasion of Sicily, just became possible. July 10th, 1943. 2:45 a.m. Beaches of Gela, Sicily. The night erupts. Naval guns thunder from the Allied Armada. Over 2,500 ships stretching across the Black Mediterranean like a floating city of steel. Shells scream overhead, slamming into coastal defenses with bone-rattling concussions that shake the hulls of landing craft now racing toward shore. Inside, LST-387, men from a U.S. 1st Infantry Division crouch shoulder to shoulder, rifles clutched, faces slick with spray and sweat. The ramp is down before the boat fully beaches. They pour into waist-deep water under tracer fire, green, red, white lines cutting the darkness like lethal fireworks. On the British sector near Pacino, commandos wade through the surf singing. It should be a slaughter. Sicily is fortress terrain, high ground, narrow beaches, kill zones preceded by artillery. If the Germans had concentrated their armor here, the invasion fleet would be burning, but the panzers are in Greece. The Luftwaffe is scattered across Sardinia and Corsica, waiting for an attack that will never come. The island's defenders, mostly Italian coastal units, fall within hours. Some surrender without firing a shot. Others melt into the hills. By dawn, 160,000 Allied troops are ashore. General Dwight Eisenhower watches from the bridge of HMS Nelson, binoculars raised, his jaw tight. Monty's 8th Army is pushing north. Patton's 7th is driving inland. Resistance is lighter than anyone dared hope. It's working, his aide says quietly. Eisenhower doesn't respond. He's thinking of the briefings, the casualty estimates, the projections if the Germans had reinforced Sicily properly. Tens of thousands dead in the surf. A failed landing. A propaganda gift to Goebbels. Instead, they're winning. and none of them know about the corpse. July 17th, 1943. Wolfschanz, East Prussia. Hitler receives the news in his war room, face pale with fury. Sicily. They invaded Sicily. Where are the Greeks' landings? He shouts. Where's the second wave? There is no second wave. There never was. The entire Balkan reinforcement. A waste. The panzers are trapped hundreds of miles from fighting, bogged down in redeployment, while Patton's tanks roll across Sicilian wheat fields. Jodl is silent. Von Benevegni has already been summoned for questioning. Bring me the intelligence file. Hitler hisses. The British officer. The letters. Everything. They bring it. He reads the letters again, searching for the lie, the seam, the place where he was fooled. But Major William Martin's words still feel true, because they were written to deceive a genius. And even geniuses want to believe they're right. August 17th, 1943. Sicily falls. The last German units evacuate across the Strait of Messina under cover of darkness, abandoning Italy's first line of defense. In 38 days, the Allies have torn through an island Hitler could have held for months, maybe longer, if he believed the obvious instead of the lie. The butcher's bill is still steep. Over 20,000 Allied casualties. But it could have been apocalyptic. Analysts estimate Operation Mincemeat saved between 20,000 and 30,000 lives. Men who walk off troop ships in Naples and Salerno because panzers weren't waiting on Sicilian ridgelines. Eisenhower never learns the full story during the war. Neither does Patton. The secret stays locked in Room 13, known only to Churchill, Montague, and a handful of operatives bound by the Official Secrets Act. But the Abwehr knows they were had. After the war, Montague will publish The Man Who Never Was, a bestseller that finally reveals WWII Michael's sacrifice. Hollywood will make a film. Historians will call it the greatest deception operation in military history. But the real legacy isn't Sicily. June 6, 1944. Normandy. When the Allies storm the beaches of France, Hitler hesitates for hours before releasing panzer reserves. He's convinced Normandy is a feint. The real invasion, he believes, will come at Calais. Why? Because British intelligence spent a year after Mincemeat building Operation Fortitude, a massive deception that made Hitler doubt his own eyes. And it worked because Mincemeat proved the British could lie at the strategic level, could forge documents, create phantom armies, turn corpses into weapons. The Führer had been fooled once. He never trusted his intelligence again. By the time he realizes Normandy is real, the Atlantic Wall is broken. The war is lost. Present day. Huelva, Spain. There's a grave in the cemetery of Nuestra Senora de la Soledad, marked by a white headstone. William Martin, Major, Royal Marines. 9th April 1943. Beloved son, R. Ida P. The date is fake. The name is fake. The rank is fake. But the body is real. GLYNDWR Michael lies there still, unknown, unclaimed. A homeless man who became a major, a nobody who changed everything. Tourists visit sometimes. They leave poppies. Some know the story. Most don't. They don't know that the man in that grave never fired a shot, never saw combat, never enlisted. But he invaded Sicily. He stormed Normandy. He won the war. One lie at a time.